You left the light on, like you knew I'd pass this way. You left the light on, then you walked away. There's a taxi on the corner, there's a song beneath the rain. Every street is wearing silver, every window knows my name. I came back to this old building, not to find you, not tonight, just to see if all the shadows still remembered how you smiled. Your curtain moves behind the glass, though I know you're gone for good. And the hallway holds the silence, like I always knew it would. I don't need another reason, I don't need a last goodbye, but the city keeps on asking why I still look up tonight. You left the light on, somewhere deep inside my mind. You left the light on, like a door I couldn't find. And I know you're not waiting, I know the story's done, but every time the night gets quiet, I see the light you left on, still burning through the blue, still burning after you, still burning in the rain, calling out your name, still burning, still burning low. I found a matchbook in my pocket from the bar where we first met. Your lipstick on the corner like a promise half forgotten. I used to chase the end and try to make the past make sense. Now I let the memories pass me like a train behind a fence. There's a kindness in the distance, there's a mercy in the dark. Some things only stay alive because we never touch the spark. Maybe love is not a fire that goes out when people leave. Maybe it just turns to ashes that you learn to let them breathe. And maybe I can't miss you without asking you to stay. Maybe I can watch the light fade and still walk away. You left the light on, somewhere deep inside my mind. You left the light on, like a door I couldn't find. And I know you're not waiting, I know the story's done, but every time the night gets quiet, I see the light you left on. You left the light on, but I don't have to go inside. You left the light on, and tonight I pass it by. The rain moves down the avenue, the morning's coming slow. You left the light on, but I finally let it glow. You left the light on. city carried on. Before the city wakes, before the sky turns gold, I hear your name get quieter inside the morning cold. The sidewalks shine like broken glass, taxis hum below. A paper cup is getting cold between my hands and smoke. The bar is closing down the block. The chairs are upside down, and every song we used to love is sleeping in this town. I walked past our old corner, didn't stop, didn't turn. Some memories are candles you don't have to let burn. There's a train beyond the river, there's a light behind the rain, and for the first time in a while, your name does not feel the same. Before the city wakes, before the morning knows, I leave a little piece of you where the cold wind blows. Before the city wakes, before the streets grow loud, I let the silence hold me without calling out. And maybe I will miss you for 100 nights or more, but before the city wakes, I'm walking from your door. One step into the blue, one step away from you, one breath into the light, one less ghost tonight. One step at a time. The river carries silver light beneath the empty bridge. I watch it move and understand some things don't need to end. They only change their shape somehow, they only lose their sound, like footsteps in a hallway after no one's left around. I used to think forgiveness was a word you had to say. Now I think it is the moment you let the night fade away. I don't need to hate you to finally let you go. I don't need one last answer for the things I'll never know. The sky is getting lighter, the rain is almost gone, and somewhere past the quiet, something in me moves on. Before the city wakes, before the city wakes, before the morning knows, I leave a little piece of you where the cold wind blows. Before the city wakes, before the city wakes, nights I still will. But before the city wakes, I know I always will. Keep walking through the blue. The first bus rolls along the street. The windows start to glow. Before the city wakes, I finally let you go. Before the city wakes, the morning takes me home. If I knew that was the last time, I would hear you laugh. I would have stayed a little longer. Rain was falling by the window light. Your coat was resting on the chair. The city glowed beneath the blue, and I thought you'd still be there. The piano played a fragile line, soft enough to make time slow. You said goodnight like any other night, and I just let you go. I thought tomorrow would wait for us. I thought one more day would be enough. I never knew how fast a moment disappears. If I knew that was the last time, you'd be standing in my door. If I knew I would have held you like I'd never let you go. I would have said the words my pride kept hiding. If I knew, I would have loved you louder. Got still, the rain moved on, and all the things I meant to say stayed where you were gone. The upright bass moved low and warm, like footsteps down an empty hall. The saxophone bent one aching note and made the whole night fall. I remember little things the most. Your hand against my sleeve, the way you look before you turn, the things I didn't see. Maybe goodbye never announces itself. Maybe it hides inside a normal night, inside a small smile, a closing door, a quiet see you soon, until soon becomes never. Share, I would have stayed until the dawn. If I knew how empty every room would feel the moment you were gone, I would have told you more than all my fear. I would have told you you were home when you were here. If I knew the night was taking you away, I would have loved you in every word I never said. Rain on the glass, piano down low, one last saxophone, nowhere to go. If I knew, fade into the midnight, fade into the next blues. I wrote your name, then crossed it out, wrote it again, and let the paper sit there like it knew. Some words arrive too late. Rain was breathing on the window pane, blue light trembling on the floor, an open letter by my glass, 100 words I couldn't send before. The piano moved in minor keys, slow as smoke beneath the door. I held the pen above the page, then let it fall once more. 'Cause how do you explain the years you let get lost? How do you say I loved you when pride already paid the cost? This letter stayed unsent. Every truth I held too long, still bleeding through the ink. This letter stayed unsent. but not the courage to speak. No stamp, no address, just a quiet room and a heart full of regret. The upright bass walks soft and low, like footsteps in an empty hall. The saxophone bent one aching note and made the whole room feel too small. I wrote about the nights we laughed, the little things I still recall, then folded every memory away like it didn't hurt at all. Maybe I was waiting for the perfect time, but perfect never came. And now your silence has a way of reading every line. I never gave your name. This letter stayed unsent, and now it weighs more than goodbye. This letter stayed unsent, 1,000 honest words still trapped behind my eyes. I should have told you
before the rain,
before the distance,
before the pain.
This letter stayed unsent, and every midnight reads it back to me again. Blue ink drying, piano down low, one last saxophone, nowhere to go.
Stayed unsent, stayed unsent.
Fade into the midnight, fade into the next blues. The road doesn't ask where you've been. The road doesn't ask what you can't forget. There's a diner by the highway with a neon sign half dead, coffee cooling by the window, morning blue above my head. I can see the trucks move slowly through the fog beyond the glass. Everybody's going somewhere, everybody leaves a past. I used to count the reasons why I should have stayed behind. Now the miles are pulling gently at the corners of my mind, and your name is still a shadow when the radio goes low. But it doesn't hold the wheel now, it just rides along the road. I don't need a map to tell me what It just keeps rolling forward, past another open door. The road doesn't ask why you stayed so long. It only gives you distance and a place to carry on. So I'm driving through the silence, letting daylight fill the cracks. The road doesn't ask, and I don't have to look back. Keep moving slow, keep moving on. The night is gone, but the wheels roll on. One more mile, one more sign. Leave the old ghosts a little farther behind. Keep moving, keep moving on. Not running away, just learning to go. I passed a field of yellow flowers, leaning into summer wind. For a second I could feel it, something opening again. There are songs I couldn't listen to, there are streets I couldn't drive. Now they come and go like weather, and I let them pass me by. I still remember every promise, every word we left unsaid. But memories are not chains when you stop dragging them instead. There's a freedom in the space now, where your voice used to remain. Not an empty kind of freedom, more like sunlight after rain. Maybe I was never meant to find the perfect end. Maybe all I needed was to become myself again. Maybe every broken road was leading somewhere true. Maybe losing what I loved made room for something new. The road doesn't ask who broke your heart before. It just keeps rolling forward, past another open door. The road doesn't ask why you stayed so long. It only gives you distance and a place to carry on. So I'm driving through the silence, letting daylight fill the cracks. The road doesn't ask, and I don't have to look back. The road doesn't ask, it just takes me where I'm going. The highway bends beyond the sun, the radio turns low. The road doesn't ask, it only lets me go. The road doesn't ask, and the morning starts to glow.
You left a long time ago. At least that's what everyone says. But some nights I still hear you moving through this room. like you never left at all. Rain was falling past the window frame, blue neon trembling through the dark. Your old glass stood beside the sink, still holding fingerprints of us. The piano played a hollow chord, then let the silence take the room. I watched the shadows cross the wall and swore I saw you move. I packed the photographs away. I learned to say your name less, but every time the night gets still, you find me in the quietness. You're still here, still here, in every corner of this room. You're still here, still here, like a slow song under the moon. I let you go, at least I try, but every midnight brings you near. You're gone from my hands, but somehow you're still here. Still here, not in the doorway, not in the light, just in the spaces that get too quiet at night. The upright bass moved low and warm, like footsteps underneath the floor. The saxophone bent toward the rain and opened every closed door. I remembered how you used to laugh when the whole world felt too loud. The little things I never noticed have a way of finding me now. Maybe that is what love becomes, when there is nowhere left to go. Not a face, not a voice, but a feeling in the air, a part of you that stays behind long after goodbye. Oh, you're still here, in every storm that calls my name. You're still here, in every song that sounds the same. I thought time would close the door, I thought the ache would disappear, but some hearts leave the room, and some hearts leave a light. You're still here, not because I can't move on, but because some beautiful things never really leave. Rain on the glass, piano down low, one last blue note, then let it go. Still here, still here, still here. Fade into the midnight, fade into the next blues. There was a time when silence felt like peace. Then one night it started feeling like distance, and neither one of us knew how to cross it. Rain kept falling on the window glass, blue neon shaking through the dark. Your coffee cooled beside the bed, like words we never got to start. The piano played a fragile line, the kind that breaks before it lands. I watched you stare beyond the room, with your whole heart in your hands. I kept waiting for your voice, you kept waiting for mine. And somewhere in the space between us, we ran out of time. It got too quiet, too quiet, between your heart and mine. Every word we never said turned into a wall tonight. It got too quiet, too quiet, till the love we used to know couldn't find its way back home. Too quiet, no anger, no goodbye, just two shadows letting something beautiful die. The upright bass moves slow and deep, like footsteps down an empty hall. Brushes whispered on the snare, like snow beginning to fall. I remember laughter in this room, your hand reaching over mine. Funny how the smallest moments become the ones that stay behind. Maybe love doesn't always leave in flames, maybe sometimes it fades, while two people sit together trying to look away from everything they're losing. It got too quiet, too quiet, and I should have called your name. I should have broken through the dark before the silence won the game. It got too quiet, too quiet. Now the rain knows what we hear, two hearts trying to hold on to something neither one of us knew how to save again. It got too quiet, too quiet, and I still hear you in every room where you once lived. Rain on the glass, piano down low, a distant saxophone with nowhere left to go.
midnight. Fade into the next blue. A little further west, that's all I need tonight. A little further west, till the sky forgets the night. There's a motel by the highway with a vacancy in blue, a buzzing sign above the office, and a room with nothing new. I leave my keys beside the Bible, leave my coat across the chair. There's a storm out past the window, but it's not waiting for me there. I used to chase the same old answers down the same familiar street. Now I let the tires hum beneath me like a rhythm in my sleep. There's a map spread on the dashboard, but I don't need to draw a line. Somewhere past the next horizon, something still belongs to mine. I can feel the old weight fading every time the sky turns wide, like the road is slowly teaching me there's more than what I left behind. A little further west, a little less afraid. I leave the old ghosts talking on the roads where they were made. A little further west, where the daylight meets the dust. I'm not looking for a miracle, just a reason to trust. And if I still hear your name when the radio gets low, I let it pass right through me and keep heading where I go. A little further west, that's enough for now. Miles don't ask for mercy, miles don't ask for proof. They just keep pulling daylight through a hole in the roof. One more mile, one more turn, one more thing I don't have to burn. Keep the wheels straight, keep the heart open. A little further, a little further west. I stop beside a gas station where the coffee tastes like rain, and no man says you headed somewhere. I just smile and say the same. He laughs like he's been there before, like he knows what people mean when they say they're chasing daylight, but they're really chasing peace. There's a girl behind the counter, humming low beneath her breath, and for a moment all the silence feels like something more than death. Maybe every stranger carries a small piece of the truth. You don't have to know the ending to believe the road is good. Maybe I was holding on to what was already to keep me standing still so long. Maybe there is something waiting past the places I once knew, not to replace what I lost, just to show me something new. A little further west, a little less afraid. I leave the old ghosts talking on the roads where they were made. A little further west, where the daylight meets the dust. I'm not looking for a miracle, just a reason to trust. And if I still hear your name when the radio gets low, I'll let it pass right through me and keep heading where I go. A little further west, I can feel the air change now. A little further west, like I'm coming back somehow. The highway bends beneath the sun, the engine settles low. A little further west, there's somewhere left to go. A little further west, and the sky begins to open.
It's strange how a man can carry 1,000 words for 1,000 nights and never say them until the silence becomes heavier than the truth. Rain rolled softly down the avenue, turning every streetlight blue. A lonely piano filled the room, slow as smoke beneath the moon. The bartender stacked the final chairs. The room was almost gone, just me and the things I never said. A tenor sax cried from the corner stage, like it knew my story by heart. Every note pulling another memory out of the dark. I thought there'd be more time, another evening, another chance, another conversation. I was wrong. These were my last words, my last words, the ones I never gave away. These were my last words, my last words. Now they echo where your footsteps used to stay. I should have told you, I should have shown you. Now the midnight knows the truth, but you don't. Rain on the glass, piano down low. Funny how silence grows after someone goes. upright bass moved warm and deep, like a promise buried underneath. Brushes whispered through the haze, like ghosts from better days. I remember ordinary nights, the kind nobody writes about. A laugh, a look, a moment that seemed small until it wasn't. And maybe that's what breaks a man, not the ending, not the goodbye, but realizing the most important things were left inside his heart, waiting for tomorrow that never came. These were my last words, my last words, the ones that never reached your ears. These were my last words, my last words, still getting heavier through the years. I should have told you, you mattered more than my pride, more than my fear. Now every rainy midnight brings them back again. These were my last words, and they'll always live here. Rain on the rooftop, the saxophone fading, blue neon trembling, the night barely breathing. My last words, my last words, still floating through the blue. Fade into the midnight, fade into the next blue. There are things a man can live without saying for a while. Then one night, the silence asks for payment, and there's only one truth left. Rain ran silver down the glass. The bar was almost empty now. Your name was resting on my tongue, but I still didn't know how. The piano found a minor chord, then let it fade into the blue. A tenor sax held one long note, like it already knew. I said I was fine, I said I moved on, but every quiet room since then has proved that I was wrong. One more truth, one more truth, before the night takes you away. I never stopped loving you, I just got scared of what to say. Oh, one more truth, one more truth, before the lights all disappear. for goodbye, but I still wish you were here. One more truth, no grand goodbye, no final scene, just a heart too proud to say what it means. The upright bass moves low and slow, like footsteps through an old hotel. Brushes drifted on the snare, like secrets nobody tells. I remembered every almost word, every time I changed the subject. The moments I could have reached for you, then chose the safety of regret. Maybe love does not disappear, maybe it waits behind the things we never say, behind the distance, behind the years, until one lonely night it has to be heard. One more truth, one more truth. I should have told you long ago. You were the place I wanted most, the one place I was scared to go. One more truth,
One more truth.
before the rain becomes the dawn. You were never just a memory, you were the song I carried on. One more truth,
One more truth.
the sax keeps crying, the room keeps turning, and every word I kept inside is finally burning. Rain on the glass, piano down low, one last blue note, then let it go. One more truth, one more truth. Fade into the midnight, fade into the next blue. When the river turns, I'll let it take the dark. When the river turns, I'll leave you where you are. There's a bridge above the water, and a boat light moving slow. The town is still half sleeping under clouds of silver smoke. I park beside the river with the engine running low. Watch the current pull the moonlight where I didn't need to go. I used to chase the answers like they owed me something true. Now I watch the water carry every question out of you. Your picture's in the glove box, but I don't reach for it tonight. Some things fade more gently when you leave them out of sight. The wind comes off the water, the sky begins to change, and I can feel a little mercy in the space your memory made. When the river turns, I'll turn with it somehow. Not because I've forgotten, but because I know how now. When the river turns, I won't fight the pull again. I'll let the current take what I can't carry to the end. And if your name comes back like a song I used to know, I'll hear it for a moment, then I'll let it go. Let it go slow, let it go deep. Let the river keep what I couldn't keep. Let it roll on, let it move through. One less shadow between me and you. Carry it away, carry it away. Not all at once, just enough today. A woman opens up the bakery on the corner by the square. The smell of coffee finds me like a prayer inside the air. A dog runs through the empty street, a bell begins to ring, and for the first time in a long time, I don't need anything. I thought peace would be a doorway with a sign above the frame, but maybe it is smaller, just a morning without blame. Maybe it's the way the daylight falls across a weathered wall. Maybe it's forgiving life for never answering at all. I don't have to make a promise that I'll never miss you still. I just have to let the feeling come and leave me when it will. There are places in the heart that don't close, they just grow still. Like the river in the distance when the wind is off the hill. When the river turns, I'll turn with it somehow. Not because I've forgotten, but because I know how now. When the river turns, I won't fight the pull again. I'll let the current take what I can't carry to the end. And if your name comes back like a song I used to know, I'll hear it for a moment, and I'll let it go. When the river turns, I can feel the morning near. When the river turns,
nothing left to fear. The water moves beneath the bridge. The first light finds the stone. When the river turns, I don't have to turn alone. When the river turns, the world keeps moving on.